Imagine what it would feel like to slowly be suffocating and no one cared. All they did was just add to the problem. Our world is falling apart, animals are dying, and people are suffering. We are lacking resources, and we are unable to replace them as fast as we use them. Ever since I was a little girl, I have been extremely interested in the earth and how it works. I would watch documentaries on TV that would talk about animals, show their habitat, and talk about the effects that some things have on them. Most recently, I became more interested in the depletion of the ozone layer, pollution, and wanting to help save the environment. The ozone is a stratospheric layer that plays an important role by protecting humans and other living organisms from harmful UV rays. I have recently started doing research on the depletion of the ozone layer. Today, I'm going to talk about the information I have found on the ozone layer, what it is affecting, and how and if we can help. The ozone layer is continuing to thin more and more each day. Here's what the ozone layer looked like in 1970. The darker the color, the more protection we had. Here's what it looked like in 2008. I also want to show you a picture of the glaciers, how much we had in 1970, and here's what they look like in 2005. The ozone layer is the reason we have life on Earth. It protects all living creatures from harmful UV rays. According to the American Journal of Plant Scientists, a journal published and kept up to date by scientists, some 2 billion years ago, rising atmospheric oxygen concentrations helped Earth's atmosphere to build up ozone and gradually led to the formation of the stratosphere. That is a long time for damage to begin to occur on the ozone layer. With more advancement than we obviously would have had in 1800s, the damage continues to increase. Are you aware of the hole in the ozone layer that is located over the Antarctic? American Journal of Plant Scientists says that the ozone depletion over the Antarctic has been noticed since the 1970s, and the Arctic region has also been witnessing the occurrence of an ozone hole over the last decade. The ozone layer is thinning by at least 0.5% each year since the year 2000. The cause of this is because of all the pollutants in the air and things such as refrigeration, air conditioning, and cleaning solvents. The depletion of the ozone layer is causing the air to get warmer, something known as global warming. I asked 17 people what they know about the depletion of the ozone layer. 15 of them did not know very much about it, and others knew some. All different types of UV rays are leaking through the ozone layer. The ozone layer has two stratospheric layers, one which is up high. The stratospheric layer leads to the creating of the terrestrial layer, which is near the ground. The terrestrial layer is the cause of global warming because due to the thinning of the stratospheric ozone layer, the harmful UV rays are reaching the terrestrial layer close to ground, acting as a greenhouse as it absorbs the UV rays, causing global warming. Everyone I had asked about global warming being a real thing had agreed that it was. But do you think that there is a way we can help slow it down? I asked 70 people what they thought. 6 of them thought it was highly possible. 9 of them believed it was slightly possible. 1 was undecided, and 1 more thought there was no possible way. According to current science, scientists say that global warming can be stopped if people stop using so much fossil fuel gasoline, coal, and oil. Burning fossil fuels releases CO2 into the atmosphere. We used about 7.7 billion tons last year. That is a lot of CO2. The amount of CO2 we use actually has increased by 18% in the past 100 years, which is expected with all the new improvements. In order for global warming to slow down or come to a stop, the world as we know it today will have to change completely. We will have to have energy-efficient cars, that are safe for the environment. Scientists are also looking at creating some type of machine or freezer to take the CO2 out of the air and freeze it. They also consider putting more iron sulfate into oceans, creating algae that consumes CO2. Simple things that you can do now to help the environment is not by driving your car as much as possible, such as when something is only a mile away and it's a nice day outside, go for a walk instead. Don't leave your car sit and run for a long time when you're not even in it. And don't drive around aimlessly. Also, be sure to reuse, reduce, and recycle. Global warming is affecting much more than people think. Global warming affects pretty much everything on Earth, including the human population. Even if you don't think it's affecting you, it may be. According to the Environmental Defense Fund, warmer temperatures are contributing to the range, expansion, and severity of tick-borne Lyme disease. It is also causing an impact on people with allergies and making us more prone to infectious diseases carried through the warming of fresh water. Many people that have had Lyme disease or allergies both know that it's not fun. That is not the only thing that we have to worry about. It's also affecting our overall health. According to the Environmental Defense Fund, a warmer atmosphere increases chemical reactions that form ground-level ozone, also known as smog. Smog is a well-known lung irritant and a major trigger for asthma attacks. It is also reducing our resources due to the fact that global warming has a very negative effect on crops and other animals. Global warming is causing much more extreme weather. According to the Environmental Defense Fund, the frozen water on Earth is melting, things such as glaciers and polar ice sheets. This is not only affecting polar bears that are almost extinct and other Arctic and Antarctic animals, this is affecting the oceans by creating dark oceans, causing them to heat up. It is also affecting the states that are surrounded by the ocean, such as Florida and other states that touch the ocean or even near the ocean. According to PBS, it is estimated that these states may be underwater at any time in the future. This warm weather that is also causing oceans to heat up is causing it to be more acidic, 40% more acidic than it used to be, which is not safe for humans or any living creature in the ocean. So, in a conclusion, we have learned a little bit of what the ozone layer is, what the ozone layer affects, and how and if we can help. The ozone layer is a stratospheric layer that plays an important role by protecting humans and other living organisms from harmful UV rays. Remember, the ozone layer depletion is not just affecting some living things, it may also be affecting the human race. And even if it has not reached you yet, it may reach you, your children, or your grandchildren.